Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are here in... Oops, I did not mean to... Nope, that score is incorrect. Sorry about that. On the left-hand side, we have Out of Pocket with a Orkin Beans Rexar, Misha to play Misha. Inoculus on the Asmodan. Rainer to be played by Vates. Kaki, Naki... Kaki probably on the Joanna, and Great One on the Brightwing. For the right-hand side, we have Yavapai, blah, 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 or Swim for short, Galacticos on the Anduin, Sarah Lean on the Artanis, Shan to play Sergeant Hammer, Camel on the Vala, and Andrade will play our Diablo. So that is going to be your teams. Let's go ahead and get our gamble going right now. Will Asmodan finish baseline Annihilation? So will Asmodan finish these 400 stacks by the end of the game? Get your gambles in, ladies and gentlemen. You know the dealio. Gamble. If we mail enough loose Legos, he can build his own island. Yo, if you mailed me a Lego set, I would build it on stream. That's it. I was gonna say like immediately, but I mean, I'll build it on stream. You send me some Legos, I'll build it on stream. Hey, gamble. Yes. Does Asmodan finish baseline stacking? 400's a lot of stacks. And he is not going into Gluttony at level 1. He's going into Greed, which is not going to provide any extra stackage for him. Blade Dash from the Artanis. He did go into Amateur Opponent level 1 here for Battlefield of Eternity. Hey, we got odds. We got 2,400 to 69. All right. We got odds. That's the most important thing at the end of the day. Well, that and Feeding Bandit, but, you know, odds. Also, I missed a spot on the back of my head when I was shaving this morning, and it's driving me up the wall. Overpowers, Shadow Charge into the Joanna. The phase shift from Great One does come through, and this Joanna's not really that concerned, as this is a camp easily grabbed by the allies of Swim just below. Came out of a meeting at perfect timing to hear my favorite gamble bell. Perfect. I nailed it. I knew it. I had foreseen the future, and I knew exactly when you'd be done with your meeting. Really quickly, as a reminder, tomorrow we are going to be doing Mario Kart versus chat. So if you'd like to come throw green shells backwards at me and ruin my second place potential, be sure to come by tomorrow. We'll have a couple hours of Mario Kart, so yeah. Be sure to join. It'll be at 3 o'clock PDT, 6 o'clock EDT, and 0 CEST. 23 BST. Don't want to leave the UK people out. Rainer's going to be going into Sustaining Rounds at level 4. Did go into Exterminator level 1. And it's a... It's not Hunter-Gatherer. Oh, it is Hunter-Gatherer for the Rexar Misha. Regeneration Globes for that armor. Good camp timing here for the side of Yavapai for Swim. They'll be able to put this into top lane during the objective phasing. Nicely done. Should get into lane. That's going to get into lane a little late, but I mean, that still delays things out. Hammer going to get some splash damage onto the wave. Get some quick clear over there as both teams are going to go straight into the race. Well, Artanis Vala do have really good race potential here. They're going to step in together. Meanwhile, Rainer, Rexar, Asmodan, and Joanna will do their best to burn through this. Don't forget, let me not forget Misha as well. Top lane, as I mentioned, that Fallen Shaman was pushed up by the Sergeant Hammer. Joanna in a tank, I guess I could say. Tank Lady. And the race is going to be on between both sides. Who's going to come out on top? It will be the members of Swim. Or excuse me, of Out of Pocket. Immortal blindness. Always do that. Immortal goes to bottom lane as it is the more well-defended lane. Seems like the rest of the team goes to top. Actually, ooh. No, Brightwing's going to stick around. She's probably got phase shift to jump down to bottom lane. I thought Well was tapped by the Joanna, but no. Just playing it safe, playing it slow, not stepping out into lane to get burned down before the Immortal even gets into said lane. Artanis gets rid of the shield immediately, dunking in from Asmodan. 44 stacks. He's a 10th of the way through. Joanna overpowered and taking tower shots. Nice swap from the Artanis. Chat, did you know that 51 is divisible by 17? Did you know that, chat?
I must rest for a time.
2 stacks currently for the Vala Hungering Arrow, the Puncturing Arrow level 1. But you can still build that up more and more. Yeah. I saw that internet fact and I was like... I was sitting there like doing the mental math and I was like, holy shit, it is! I don't know, it just seems like a weird divisible number, you know? It just seems weird, but when you really think about it, it's like, oh, it makes sense, actually. 7 times 3 is 21, so that's how you get the 1. How you doing, Spicer? Good to see you. We also will see the level 7 Master Destruction for the Azmodan, so faster stacking for him. Also, he gets stacking on hitting enemy heroes with that last explosion. Big Duncan, once again, onto the wave that Joanna was able to condemn together. No Subdue level 4 for her, just going full into Vacuum, or excuse me, Eternal Retaliation and Conviction. More dunkage onto the Diablo as... Oh, I was just about to jump up here. Just putting my water bottle down. I was about to grab a sip, but Rexar gets the camp. Shan clears it out before it even gets into lane. Actually, one of them will still survive as the objective phase is going to be spawning here on the east-west side of the map.
There is no escaping my justice.
Someone pulled out a calculator when I said that and was like, no, Bahamut's wrong. And I don't blame you. I mean, it's math. I usually am. Do we need to change the math command? No, because I wasn't doing the math on the fly. I had this prepared. It's like when you go to a meeting prepared, you know? You have the stats ready to go. What's up, idioms? Shadow Charge onto the Rexar. That will be a dead Rexar from Vala, sustained damage. Speaking of Vala, she'll continue to pump damage into this immortal phase here. Lines from the Joanna won't dissuade the race potential of our red team as the first half goes over to the side of Swim. Let's go ahead and cycle through the other numbers as the 10 talent here is about to pop at the top of the screen. And the Immortals go to race potential, blue towards the red side and red towards the blue side. Sorry, I thought I got a message on Twitch for a second there that I was going to run ads. And I'm like, how dare you? I've been trying to get ahead of the ad roll all day. We finally did. It took like 3 hours to get ahead of the ad roll. Don't know why. Twitch's ads have been super weird lately. Like, I'll run a 3-minute ad, and it counts it as a 1-minute ad for the ad break time. And it's like, what? Why? Why, Twitch? Why are you being greedy? I mean, I know why, but still ask these questions daily. Light Bomb Suppression Pulse. We also will see the Napalm Strike from Hammer, Spinny Shooty Shot on the Vala, or Strafe if you want to use real names, and Apocalypse for the Diablo. Speaking of not using real names, we will be casting the Dota International this Saturday. We're going to be casting it like Heroes of the Storm. So if you're like, man, I don't care for Dota, well, I have great news for you. I'll be casting it like it's a Heroes of the Storm game, so all of it will make complete sense to you. Spinny Shooty Shot activated by the Vala, the Apocalypse coming out from the Diablo. Here comes a Falling Sword from Joanna to try and save the allies, but it won't be enough to save the Rainer. Diablo's going to be traded in all of this as the demonic invasion summoned by the Azmodan. Can they save their bottom lane fort? No. Belith is a little too chonky, and that will be a fort to fall. Meanwhile, Sergeant Hammer in top lane was able to burn down the Rexar. Rexar, he may be a ranger, but he's not too used to these Terran vehicles that have splash and sustain damage. That was a very bad StarCraft Warcraft joke. But Sergeant Hammer, outranging structures, will get about 50% off this fort. Takes a globe to the tank and is able to boost away. I mean, Kayla's just saying, if you think about it, if you download the digital version of Mario Kart, it'll be ready by tomorrow. No, I'm bummed out for you, man. I'm bummed out that the physical copy grew some legs and walked away. But that's also the reason I don't buy physicals, because I know myself too well to lose things. I'm too good at putting something down and forgetting where I put it 30 seconds later. I was looking at top lane to see if there's going to be some sort of initiation from the Diablo into Azmodan, but no, I don't think there's going to be the case. Yeah, Penetrating Ground even says even further of a nope onto that one. Normally, you never lose stuff like... Oh, dude, I lose stuff like that all the time. I swear to God... I swear to the gods that there's an invisible person that is in my house and moves things around when I'm not paying attention and then puts them back when I'm looking for it. Like, I swear I'll put down my phone in one spot, leave the room, come back, it's not in that spot, look around the house for it, and then it's exactly where I thought it was. I swear! Not saying it's aliens, but it's probably aliens. 1 to 6 in kills. Swim ahead in the series right now as we are totally on track and not distracted whatsoever throughout today's games. Your favorite strategy of I'll put this in a safe place and remember it later? One time I thought I lost my wallet when we were walking to get food, but it had turned out that before we left, I was like, oh, I don't plan to get food, so I left my wallet at home. But when we were halfway to the diner, I was like, oh shit, I don't have my wallet. Even though I had no intention of getting any food. Yes, I had beers. And then funny enough, I got home, I opened up the cabinet, and there's my wallet, and I was like, why did I put this here? I remember being angry with myself. Just stupid. Suppression Pulse called down by the Artanis. This Joanna looking to get into the Sergeant Hammer. As a light bomb into the backline is going to slow things down. Joanna needs to back off towards the ally side. Straight from Vala activated. She's back onto the race of the Immortal phase. Boar's unleashed by the Rexar. Dunks out from the Azmodan. And Twin Blades will chunk into the Joanna, but she will not fall. Diablo stunned out by the Immortal, followed up by a Misha Bear charge, and unfortunately Misha will fall. 144 stacks currently for the Azmodan, 3 for the Vala in her level 1. The Fallen Shaman in top lane getting more value, and this will be the Immortal going to top lane as the fort is still up and available, and since, well, bottom lane doesn't have a fort. Still, the more well-defended lane mechanic as we have talked about previously on this map, but if you are new to the mechanic in general, the Immortal will always go to the more well-defended lane. Since there's a fort in top and none in bottom, we're going to top lane. And if you are wondering what the damage looks like on the Immortal right now, since the Immortal has about 10k points of shielding, it'll attack from range at 1,436 damage into structures. When it loses that shield, it'll move into melee mode, but it still has the same amount of damage. Orkin Beans trying to get away, gets a beautiful, beautiful charge from Misha. Opens up an opportunity for this Rexar to run out of here. The Light Bomb from Anduin not getting any sort of stun that they're looking for. And the Blade Dash from the Artanis. But here comes a spin from the Immortal. Misha's going to be stuck up against the wall. The Iron Skin of Joanna eats all of that CC. But now Joanna, with no Iron Skin available to keep front gate, is down. Hyperion summoned by Rain to zone back the enemy. And that seems to have done exactly what I said. It seems to have zoned them back. Camel wants to keep this hatred going on that trait for Vala. 5 stacks on the level 1. Boar's unleashed. They have a slow, but it's not enough of a slow to close the distance. Meanwhile, Hammer is closing the distance in bottom lane with this minion wave, and Azmodan going for the dunk onto the enemy hero rather than the wave, and I gotta be a little critical of that. A dunk plus the laser right there, you QE onto the middle minion, you clear out that wave, and you get yourself a nice chunk of stacks, rather than maybe getting, what, 2 off of the Sergeant Hammer? No flame to the player, but just a little criticism, as I do love playing Azmodan quite a bit. Rainer, you're not helping! No, just kidding. Uh-oh, wrap around flank onto Orkin Beans, and it might be some beans for dinner in a moment. Swap, Blade Dash, Orkin Beans is trying to back out of here, and we'll get chunked by the Diablo by the Diablo and friends. The bottom lane fort will go down, but an Impaler camp plus a small minion wave is approaching on this top lane keep, and Diablo starts things out with a Shadow Charge right into the face of the keep. And Sergeant Hammer will easily clear things out in bottom, bunch of hearths out in said bottom lane, and the keep will drop down to nearly 50%, while our objective phase will spawn here in the east-west side of the map. Is Rainer still considered a lane minion? What? A lane minion? I don't think Rainer's ever really been considered a lane minion. What's up, Slarif? How you doing today? Jimmy Laner. Well, I mean, but when we talk about like minions, like we joke around like Varian is like a bruiser. Or he's like a mercenary. He's like a bruiser camp minion. Mercenary probably. I've never heard Jimmy called a minion. Jimmy Laner, but that just refers to him lane. I'm confused. There's some loss in translation. 7-1 in kills favoring the side of Swim right now. As a dunk from Asmodan will go through. Laser on to the Diablo as well. Sergeant Hammer dropping some shells into the enemy team faces. The Apocalypse from Diablo's activated the Light Bomb from the Anduin as well into Sarah Lynn, who's just focused on burning down the Immortal right now for the allied side. Raynor racing against the rest on the south side of the map, and it's going to be a 188 HP remaining on Belith, and unfortunately a Kaimo cleanse from the Anduin. That Leap of Faith won't come through. Vala and Artanis will fall. The Immortal does go over to the side of Swim. It seems like this will be a top lane fort shoved into right now from the members of Out of Pocket.
The demon approaches the gates of heaven.
This Immortal will find little to no value. It might get a hit onto the keep front gate. Though Diablo's chasing onto the Joanna. Falling Sword is available if she wants to try and pop that to get away. I was about to say, might pop it just to get around this wall, so there's enough distance. And actually, there's more than one auto onto the keep front gate. Actually, it looked like there was a couple right there. But no damage onto the keep, and it looks like the out-of-pocket crew will hang on for map number 1. Map number 1 in our third best of 3 of the day, going pretty good so far. I think I'm gonna get a fancy beer after stream. I have to go to Whole Foods, and I was just thinking, I was like, I'm gonna grab myself a Pliny the Elder. They usually have those there. God, it's a tasty beer, but it's a sneaky one. You gotta be careful on that one. Well, Asmodan has found himself in a rough spot. Unfortunately, will be taken down. 172 stacks on that trait, and at that level 1 as well. Meanwhile, in top lane, though, the rest of the allies will say, at least we can get a fort. Yeah, I gotta run to Whole Foods. I still don't know if Elite Sparkle wants me to actually look at the... If Elite Sparkle wants me to go to the pet store and look at the price for them on that turtle. Not sure if they do. I don't mind. Okay, the blink heal from Brightwing is not good enough. I thought she'd be able to back away, but unfortunately not the case. And the same will be said about Joanna. Phase Prism doesn't get the swap onto the Misha, who immediately charges back. Might be a sacrifice moment for Misha so Orc and Beans can get out of here. The Hungering Arrow bouncing around, the tap onto the well. Meanwhile, the Impaler camp in top lane is pushing onto a keep, but with 2 dead for the time being, they seem to want to shove top lane on the side of Swim. Shan CB9 gets the Leap of Faith from Anduin. Impaler camp, by the way, in top. What is the range on these? Is it like 11? Say 10 range. 10 range. They outrange structures by 2. Okay. A little bit. Yeah, by 2. First half of the Immortal phase easily in hands of Swim. They are rocking. They are rolling on this map number 1 in our third best of 3. And maybe, just maybe, I do... Ooh, wait, hold on. Immortals go to defensive sides. So Swim will have to step in. They're about to have their 20 talent. Raynor flanking, poking onto Hammer with a penetrating round. Diablo's in a really awkward spot. The demonic invasion summoned by Asmodan, who's going to try and get a dunk in here. Get some damage in onto Diablo as well as Sarah. Asmodan playing a little far back in this game. Avoids the suppression pulse. Rest of the team looking to step in right now. Hyperion summoned by the Raynor. Looking to use this as a zoning tool. But, oh, they're going to... Vala's going in for the Immortal here. She will be able to get this before Asmodan gets a kill onto her, but I do believe she should die for this. She should be punished for this. Sergeant Hammer goes down to the right-hand side of her screen. Vala should be punished. The dunk will go to the side. Widowmines get a slow. Raynor pops his... Oh, no. I was gonna say trait, but that's not right. He pops his, Inspire. Vala will be taken down. The Immortal goes into bottom lane. The top lane keep will fall. As I mentioned earlier, those Impalers, no way, no way, no way. What a turn of tables. What a turn of tables here. Also, Asmodean stacking's not near 400, and I'm sure someone's got to feel happy about that. They're ignoring the Diablo. He's got full souls. He's trying to displace. He's pushing Misha Rexar around. We do have a respawn onto the Artanis. Suppression pulse coming out to delay things out, but I think this is inevitable. And the members of Out of Pocket hold strong here in map number 1. GG, well played. It was looking all to the side of Yavapai, and Swim will fall. You're off to be social with the folks. See you later tonight or tomorrow, hopefully with Mario Kart cartridge that miraculously appeared. I wish you the best, bud. Have fun with the family. That was their game to lose. I would agree with you on that. It's rough, man. It's rough. Okay, Pizza Patrol. Ooh, Pizza Patrol, what's up? I like your name. The base stacks are undone. The base stackage is undone. Someone just got paid out. It wasn't a lot, but it's like 3-4K. You're going to have a market on Sunday, but it's been canceled? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. Is that like the other name for Out of Pocket, or for Yavapai, the jaws of victory? That's dumb. All right, everybody. We're gonna run a small blockage of ads, and then we will get into our next map. I just want to get I'm trying to get ahead of the pre-roll and the overall ad period, just because it's easier to control things in that situation. So if you get some ads, I do apologize, but I will not start the game until we get out of the ad block. Good to see you, Stephanopoulos. I feel like I'm saying that weird. How are you doing today, bud? I realize I'm running ads and I'm asking you a question, so you're probably not seeing or hearing it. Tomb of the Thumber Queen. Ooh, there's a Nazebo. We can do some Nazebo stacking. Runs ads. So how's everyone's day? Why is Twitch chat so quiet? Mr. Bandit, what you doing? Oh, I'm sorry. Am I embarrassing you? We're gonna go for another walk today after stream. That's a certainty. I need it for my back. Market was going to be in Maine, and the current situation doesn't make it. Ah, yeah, I did see that. I did see that. All right, Nazebo stackage will be our gamble when we get out of this. Ad block. Start prediction. Does how much base stacking for Nats? 175 or more, 174 or less. Excuse me. Excuse me. All right, as I said, the ad blocks are about to finish out, and when they do, we will get into our game. Push the wrong button there. Yo, we got snow in the mountains last night. Oh my god, it looks so beautiful out there. Where's my downloads? Yo, it looks so beautiful out there, man. Look at this. Look at this. This was this morning. Oh, this was this morning. It was so beautiful out there. Because I zoomed in with my camera so much, it kind of created a little bit of like a... It's almost like impressionist, the way that the imagery is. I kind of want to do that as a painting, honestly. I kind of want to do this as a Baja Ross. Like, this would not be a hard Baja Ross to do. I kind of want to do that. Yeah, that was this morning. That was the view this morning. We had a big big snowstorm. We had a snowstorm last night up in the mountains. We got mostly rain at lake level. Out of Pocket did win the first game. Do it? Yeah, I'm thinking about it. I haven't done a not Baja Ross painting in a very long time. So, and that one actually has like the framing and everything I like for the Bob Ross. So, we'll see. We'll see. We shall see. All right, the ad block is done. Let's go ahead and get into another game, everybody. Welcome back into our third best of 3 of the day. On the left-hand side, we got the members of Out of Pocket with a Orkin Beans Vala, Vates on the Nazebo, Yes Sir to play as Sonya, Kaki on the May, and Great One to play a Brightwing. When I zoom in camera, it looks like doo-doo butts. Add it to the sub-goal list. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. That's a very good idea, Gato. On the right-hand side, we have got Swim, or Yavapai, as I also call them. Galacticos. On the Lucio, Camel to play a Jaina. Sarah Lean on a Junkrat. Andrade will play Joanne and Shancy B9 on the Rainer. But, of course, chat, the big question is, how much base stackage for Nazebo? 175 or more, 174 or less. You know the dealio. Gamble. I encourage it heavily because the points don't matter, and realistically, if you bet a bunch of points and someone else wins, they can then redeem bandit stuff, so it's a win-win for everybody in the community. Spread that bandit buck economy. You know what they say, if you don't use it, it doesn't go anywhere. It's like capitalism in America. What's up, Solon? How you doing today, bud? Happy Thursday to you. You're just in time for a Twitch prediction. Joanna stuck inside a zombie wall. The blizzard from May, and first blood goes over to the side of Out of Pocket as the phase shift is interrupted by a concussion mine. Vala, though, looking for another kill and able to confirm that onto the Lucio, who's able to speed things up and get on out. We got 10k to 3k. We got odds, chat, and that's the most important thing. Well, that and, you know, feeding Bandit, but you know what I mean. You are glued to Super Mario Wonder. I heard rubbing alcohol is a good way to get that off. Like if you need to, if you can get like a friend to maybe put some rubbing alcohol on a Q-tip and kind of like work off the glue, that might help out a little bit. You're all in? Ooh, big bets. Oh, I hope you've been enjoying Mario Wonder. I've been watching some streams here and there of it. A couple streamers are already starting to speedrun it, so it's been kind of nice just to like throw that on in the background while I do some cooking and stuff. Thinking I have friends. Yeah, you got us. We're your friends. We may not be proximately close, but consider us all friends. The Nexus forces get another kill out for the side of Out of Pocket. They will take down the Lucio. Camp does finally go over to the side of Swim. They were very, very, very invested on this camp. Don't you parasocial me, bro. Don't you bro me, friend. Don't you friend me, guy. I'm not your guy, friend. I'm not your friend, buddy. I'm not your buddy, pal. One of the few South Park bits I absolutely love. Look, Solon, you can be beauty, I'll be beast, okay? Oh, that's pararomantic. Never mind. Never mind. Hold on, that's pararomantic. That's a different thing. May is gonna be fine. She kind of wiggles her way away from these blizzards here on Tomb of the Spider Queen. By the way, the Nazebo at 22 stacks currently, doing their best to do a bit of double soak here and there. Don't mind me just confusing parasocial with pararomantic, which are two vastly different things, I think. Stop making you die in game. Stop being entertained. I don't know what to tell you. Just don't enjoy my stream comedy. Vala continues to soak up her top lane. She's at 6 stacks at fire at will. Poor Will's getting hit on. Or maybe not at all. Maybe he likes getting fired upon. Orkin Beans still safe in the top lane. We do have an available turn-in to the side of Out of Pocket. Sorry, I was going to say the wrong team name there. Vala with the vast majority of the turn-in was 16 already. Go back into her talents. I may have said this before, but fuck you. Well, fuck you. Oh, fuck you too, man. Heart. Veil will turn into both sides. God, I'm all over the place this afternoon. I guess I should apologize, but it's entertaining. Joanna looking to turn in 21 here. Junkrat zoning with some frag launcher grenades. Lucio wall riding around. Shan maybe looking for the turn in. Brightwing's got a delay with an arcane flare. Reverse amp Lucio turned into a crab. Can't DJ too well when you are a crab. Those crabby little claws don't. Oh no! No! No, Sonya! Oh my god, so many gems down the drain. That's not what you like to see. I must ask, are we one, doing a long stream today, and two, drinking it? One, I don't, well, the answer for one is, I mean, most of my stream days are about 6 hours. The only days when I really do, like, less than 6 hour streams are if I'm not feeling really well towards the afternoon, like, pain-wise, or if, like, it's the weekend. Usually the weekends are, like, the only days I do shorter streams, but otherwise it's usually 6 hours. On average, my stream window is from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. PDT. Alcohol-wise, I still have not bought alcohol. I'm actually going to run out after stream. So, still no alcohol in the house, because I'm being a good boy. Soothing Mist activated by the Brightwing. Mei is able to tap the wells. The web weaver face in top lane is cleared out. We got 10 Talontiers cycling in for both sides, so on that note, we'll cycle through the other numbers, get an idea of what the damage, healing, and experience looks like for map number 2 and our third best of 3 of the day. I'm just trying to be a healthier boy. I did read a little bit more of the Cosmic Banditos. That was a book that I got recommended to me by Gatto. I'm like over halfway through. It's been very fun. Savantipus, I think is how I say your name. Thank you for the follow. Glad you're enjoying the content. You, well, you aren't you wise? I read that as well. Aren't you, or you aren't wise? And I was like, yeah, I am kind of dumb. No, I'm just trying to be a healthier boy. As I've said in the past, like, my drinking isn't outrageous. It's not like, oh my god, you gotta go to a meeting. But, you know, it never hurts to drink a little less, you know? It doesn't hurt to be a little healthier. Especially when I'm about to go on vacation and pretty much all we're planning on doing is beers and stuff. Avalanche from the Mei to push back the Joanna, but Jane is still on the tail, or on her tail, and we'll be able to get a kill into Mei. She'll drop 16 of the gems. Totally a good strategy, yeah. Well, you know, I'm 32 years old. Try and be a little conscious of my body. Also, as I said, I'm gonna eat like a raccoon next week, so. If you don't know what that means, I'm gonna eat a lot of garbage. Hey, Lucio is all alone in bottom lane, but he's got enough movement speed to back out of this. Yeah, he's not really threatened. You're young? Pff, I don't feel young. My hip feels like it's 80 years old, man. My hip is killing me all the time. It's not my hip, it's my lower back. If it's not my lower back, it's some other dumb thing. Top lane fort is going to be taken down, or at least they're going to get some damage here. We do have the level 4 slush ball for the Mei, so it does lock down the structure for, I think it's like 2 seconds or something. Short distance leap out from the Sonya. Rain of Vengeance gets some damage, forces out a sound barrier from the Lucio. It's a 3-second blind or shut down onto the structure that it's hit. Rocket Ride! Almost takes down Orc and Beans, and it's Rainer to get the last auto. More gems to be dropped, and some will be picked up by the Mei. Is it hurting due to a previous injury? Yes. Many years ago, I messed up a disc in my upper back near my shoulder blade on the right-hand side. So that one has to be, I have to be cautious of doing, like lifting stuff and doing repetitive motions with my right arm. Ha 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 ha. And then my last winter, I was moving a 4 foot by like 2 foot sheet of ice off my deck. And I moved weird, and my sacral joint, which is in my hip, is constantly hurting. So, and that one just like, if I sit weird, it will flare up. If I do too much outside chores, it flares up. That's right. Like, sacral joint pain, I don't wish that on anyone, man. It's just miserable, and there's nothing you can do. It's like someone shoved a gigantic ice pick into your butt cheek. But, like, where your hip is. Like, I guess you could say, like, kind of closer towards your groin. It ain't fun. Yeah, it ain't fun. And a job where I sit 6 to 8 hours a day doesn't really help that, but we do our best to stretch it out. Well, with my tangent aside, kind of just had a bunch of wave clear, realistically. A little bit of poke here back and forth between the two teams, but really no other gains outside of experience and gems. We haven't seen any sort of major structural advantages to either side outside of a bottom lane fort falling. Yeah, there's some damage on the bottom lane fort here in the top lane as well, but as I mentioned, the only real structure to fall is this bottom right structure. On the side of Swim, as Nazebo continues to stack up. He's at 82 stacks currently on that baseline, 84 on the spiders. Apologies for distracting you. Do not apologize. Do you know how easily I get distracted? There was someone who followed whose name was Pizza, and I almost went on a whole conversation about pizza. Luckily, there was enough happening in front of me in the game that I was like, wait a second. Gotta impress the new followers. Nice Rain of Vengeance to follow up the zombie wall of Nazebo, and then we have a Ravenous Spirit to get the last few ghostly slaps onto Lucio. He'll be DJing from the grave for the next 26 seconds, while a Webweaver phase is being attacked. Actually, one more gem is needed on the side of Out of Pocket, which they can get in this top lane wave really quickly, but just want to be careful of the Jaina. Speaking of the multi-shot grenade comes through! The Rain of Vengeance! The Riptire was put on a 10-second cooldown, and it is going to be another Webweaver to the side of Out of Pocket. You're making so much of it at home nowadays? What, pizza? My mom and dad were asking me at one point, they were like, do you think it'd be a good gift for you to get you one of those, is it Udi? Uni? There's like a mass-produced like pizza oven thing that like everybody uses. And they were like, would you be interested in that? And I was like, I don't know. I don't know if I'd want to use one of those, but maybe. I mean, pizza in Tahoe's not the best, so might be time just to make my own. Webweaver phase will confirm the mid lane fort. The top lane fort should go down with the assistance of Vala. Jaina and Lucio clear out the bottom lane. And it's 16 to 15 in our levels. Talent tier advantage to our blue side of Out of Pocket. But a quarter of a level to go for Yavapai or Swim before they can pick up their level 16s. Blizzard on to the rooted Mei, who's able to get herself out with an icing. Did have the cryo freeze to buy a window. Rocket Ride is stalled out by the root from the Mei, and I didn't realize that actually is a stun. Command of Snow target location enemies with take 25 blah 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 are slowed when the blizzard ends. The enemies are stuck in an area and they're stunned. I thought it was a root. I didn't realize that it was a stun. For the longest time, I always thought it was just a root like Malfurion. Huh. Alright. Uni, there you go. Oh, UD is the big blanket thing that I got sponsored by. Last 5 to 7 years, the homemade pizza game has gone wild. They make countertop. Yeah, Pavis, I've seen that as well. I saw that at the hardware store. That was actually, I think, what my parents were looking at. I don't have room on my counter for that. If I were to do something, it'd have to be like an outside model. But even then, like, the outside models are super good. Like, my neighbor has, I don't think it's that brand, but he has one that plugs into just a propane tank. But I know there's, like, unis that you can build, like, wood-burning fires in the back of them, so you can do, like, a wood... Yeah, anyways, yeah. Those are expensive, though. Those are, like, 500-something bucks. To be honest, the biggest thing that I really need for the house right now is I need to get a new hot tub cover. My old one broke, or is just destroyed over time. And I got one from my neighbor while he was getting rid of his hot tub, but it's like way too big for my hot tub size, so it's got a massive overhang on it. Orkin Bean's gonna back away, gets a blink heal from the Brightwing, the Soothing Mist activated by her as well. Iron Skin pop at the Joanna. We've got some decent damage onto the Jaina. There's a leap in from Sonya. Yes, sir, trying to get the spin to win with that life funnel value. Rocket Ride almost gets a double kill as the Water Elemental, the Winter Elemental from Jaina chases down the Brightwing, but it was cleared up before that last auto attack did connect. Probably gonna end up getting the countertop one, but it doesn't need, but it doesn't get hot enough. I think it goes up to 750. You want 900. Go buy 50 bricks and DIY one for cheap. Well, how much is 50 bricks though? Let's be honest. How much is 50 bricks delivered? Cause I don't have a vehicle to go get 50 bricks. I guess I could ask a friend and borrow a truck. But the cost of 50 bricks feels like it's a lot, because I feel like construction materials are constantly going up in price. Oh, and then on top of the bricks, you're gonna need mortar. So it's not just bricks, you need some sort of mortar in there as well. Condemn into the Joanna, or excuse me, Joanna steps in with a Condemn, immediately turned into like a crab and will fall as well. Leap in from Sonya to follow up the Ravenous Spirit, and an easy goes over to the side of Out of Pocket. Are they looking for a Webweaver plus boss? Looks like they're just going for mid lane wave. Looks like they're just gonna shove into mid here. 40-second death timer on average. They've got some decent damage. They've got the Slush Ball as well from Maze level 4. Maze playing to the far side of this. Are they looking to end here and now? It's very plausible with the death timers, actually. Avalanche shoves back the lone defender of Raynor, who did summon Hyperion. It's looking, with the core shielding already dropping and still 10 seconds on average, to the side of Out of Pocket, and they will take our third best of 3 of the day in a 2-0. GG, well played. First 2-0 of the day. Woo, payouts! What payouts? What are you talking about? Oh, there's no bets going on. You know what you're getting with your newfound bucks? Newfoundland? Pizza? Yeah, that's a good question. Pizza? Where can I buy bricks? Let's see here. I'm curious. I'm not trying to like prove anyone wrong in chat. I'm just curious about the cost of like 50 bricks really quickly. Home Depot. That's good enough. We can say we can go down the mountain. All right.